The Detroit Pistons are currently having a miracle season, being number 1 in the Eastern Conference and 2nd overall in the entire NBA based on record. This team just a few years ago was basically the laughingstock of the entire NBA. They lost 28 games straight. And if you told me, a Pistons fan, just a few years ago that this team would be in this position, I would call you a liar. But ultimately, when you become a good team like the Pistons have, and you make the playoffs in the previous season, the next season you have real expectations. This team has a real star, they have a real future, they need to start winning. This team cannot be satisfied with a first round exit anymore like they did last season, like they were last season. They need to make a deep playoff run, a finals run, maybe even a championship run. So today in this video, I will be answering that question. Are they contenders or are they pretenders? If you like this video, like, subscribe. I have more coming like it because there's a few teams that I have questions about. Now, like I said, I am a Detroit Pistons fan. I was raised in Michigan. I've loved this team my entire life. So I have to start off this video by saying a few nice things about them. They are clearly a top 10 team in the entire NBA, and they have a top 10 player in the entire NBA. I think that Cade Cunningham is not getting enough love for the MVP award. Obviously, he's going up against juggernauts like Jokic, Shea, Luka. But he's been carrying this team night in and night out. Obviously, he has his off games, but it's rare. This team also is the second best defensive team so far this season, and they've faced some easy competition. I'll get into that later. But if you watch the games, you can see why that statistic is. This team's paint defense is one of the best I've ever seen. Stewart, Duren, Asar Thompson, they are all elite defenders. And speaking of Asar Thompson, I mean, he is going to be one of the best defenders in the league pretty soon here, along with his brother. Everything that everyone's saying about Amen Thompson is going to slowly come to Asar Thompson. A lot of people forget that he missed a big chunk of his rookie season and offseason with blood clots. He wasn't able to train, so Amen had a lot more time to polish his game. Cade Cunningham, like I said, is a top 10 player in the league currently. One of the smoothest players I've ever seen. He's also extremely clutch, and he works in the post a lot of the time, which is a bit of a difficult thing for teams to guard, it seems. Like I said, Stewart is an amazing defender. This team has a pretty good role player selection to choose from when big moments arise. Duncan Robinson hit a lot of crazy shots, clutch shots this season. Tobias Harris, same thing. They have some good defenders on the bench. Jaden Ivey's coming back. That's all I can say for the good things. Now, why am I questioning this team? Well, there's a few statistics I want to point out. This team is currently committing, I think the most fouls for an NBA team this season. This team is committing a ton of fouls, and they have a temper that needs to be checked. Obviously, this team is built on gritty defense, kind of that underdog mentality, but it leads to techs every once in a while. It leads to stupid fouls, and the team loses a lot because of these fouls. Just the other day, the Dallas Mavericks won a game pretty much based on the fact that Asar Thompson got ejected and Cade Cunningham got teed up, Bickerstaff got teed up. I have no doubt in my mind that this team would have beat the Mavericks if they had their best defender. Best point of attack defender, I should say. Stu is, I don't know. But this team needs to clean up their act when it comes to their temper. I understand that this team is based around that mentality, around that temper, but you can't let it actually get to you, and you can't let it actually get you ejected. That temper also leads to their star players being in foul trouble a lot. Cade Cunningham in foul trouble a lot. Duren, Stu, foul trouble. Slowly throughout the season, they need to check this. They need to bring this down a little bit, because not only are you getting techs and you're getting ejected or you're getting in foul trouble and you can't play that many minutes in a crucial game, but the other team is getting free throws. Now, also, this team is one of the best paint defending teams I've ever seen in my life. They have an extremely good squad at the rim, but also that means that their perimeter defense isn't that good. They're letting up a bit of threes. They really need to check it. Cade Cunningham obviously isn't the best defender. He's carrying the offensive load so much. Just a minor critique that I have. I see them just blast threes. Other teams just blast threes on this team, and it's infuriating to watch. Also, what I just said, Cade Cunningham takes on most of the offensive load. They still don't have a consistent secondary ball handler, shot creator, playmaker. If I'm not wrong, Cade Cunningham has the second highest offensive usage rating right next to Luka Doncic. It's either that stat or time of possession, but both basically mean the same thing. Realistically, this team will not compete unless Jaden Ivey is playing where we think he can, or Duren is calling for the ball more. And I don't know if you trade for somebody or if you believe in Ivy, but if you don't take a chance or if you don't think that Ivy can reach his full potential by playoffs, you're wasting a season. Also, back to what I said about Duren, I think Duren is a future all-star. He just does not take enough shots. I think that he needs to call for the ball. I think that and Bickerstaff needs to put some plays that feed him the ball, because why is this guy taking 7 shots? I watched them lose to the Utah Jazz last night, and he had 7 shots. He was playing good, though. He made 5 of 7, and he was playing against somebody like Nurkic. It's infuriating to watch somebody as good as Duren just not shoot the ball, not ask for the ball, not do anything, just play defense and kind of clog the paint. If he's going to play the way that he is playing, and I know he's an amazing player at what he does, he needs to call for the ball and become a real star, because when he scores 20 points or more, the Pistons win. I think the stat is like they're 8-0 when he scores more than 20 points, something crazy like that. Another critique I have of Duren is shooting centers absolutely kill him. I honestly don't have a statistic on hand, but watching a shooting center play against this guy is infuriating. He does not step up, and he just lets them shoot threes. They get hot, and they end up having like 8 threes made, 7 threes made. When we verse Karl Anthony Towns in the playoffs, he will perform amazing, unless Duren works on it, and I believe he can. So what's my ultimate consensus? I know I rambled a lot in this video. Are they contenders? Are they pretenders? Currently, even as a Pistons fan, I think they're pretenders. And now, I'm going to say this. That's okay. It's okay that the Detroit Pistons are not contenders yet. They very clearly need a move that will move the needle, right? In my mind, they need somebody, maybe a second ball handler, or they need somebody in this team currently to develop. They need Duren to take a huge jump. They need Ivy to become that player everyone thinks that he can be. They need Ron Holland to step it up. They need Asar Thompson to step it up. So one of the two. I'm not a big fan of going for a big swing like Lauri Markkanen or somebody like that. I would much rather keep this team together and have them develop internally, but it just depends on how much time that takes. A big trade that I was seeing get thrown around earlier today, actually, there was a report that they were questioning if they want him or not, was Michael Porter Jr. to this team. Now, obviously, you would have to give up Tobias Harris, who has been big. I know a lot of fans don't really like him. I personally love him. You would have to give up Tobias Harris, another player, probably Karis LeVert, because he's played really bad so far, and a pick. If they gave up like a 2027, I think they can do that. I would be okay with this as long as he stays healthy. Always a question when you have Michael Porter Jr., but he's been shooting lights out. This would not only fix the three-point problem that the Pistons currently have. Again, they're like 29th in the league in 3 points attempted. But that added size of Michael Porter Jr. always helps. I know he's not a really, really good defender, but he's like 6'10". I would be okay with this trade. I would be sad to see Tobias and that pick go. Kind of Karis LeVert. He's a Michigan guy. I think that move would really help this team move the needle into that contender territory. Let me know if you guys agree with what I said in this video. Let me know if you have any other trade ideas or if I was wrong. I appreciate you watching, and peace.